tall enough in case I get stopped by the popo. Alrighty. I'm gonna put it on green light so it's a bit softer. But I got the light. I got the light. Okay. You're not going to be able to see me too well with the green light. Let's go for the normal light. And it's still at 8. Okay, good. So, I want to show you something else. Look at this. Beauty. I even got the braided wire on it. Put my journal away. I was able to take a few landmark notes, dates and times, locations, and what have you. I even drew for a little bit before the sun went down. I think the park, I didn't really check the rules, like I'm not camping or anything, but the park at least should be open without me worrying about being monitored, at least until like 9, 8 o'clock or 9, 11 o'clock. I could be wrong though. They didn't make the signs very visible. Alright. Ooga booga. Got the fire pit over here. Made out of concrete. Got a storage shed. And here's my rod, I guess. Wants to be in the photo. In my souls. Okay. The show you've all been waiting for. Look at this. Look at that. I think, yeah. You can look up there the paint or the epoxy that they use. When it gets old, it shimmers, shatters, so it comes across like porcelain. That is beautiful. You got the garden spiders protecting us from all the nasty little creatures. And then it says, resting place of our honorable ancestors who lived, it is so hard to read this, lived on the central Puget Sound. What is it? May you always rest in peace with great respect. And then I'm gonna, because this is a little bit personal to me, I'm not reading the last few tribal names. You're gonna have to come and find that out for yourself. But it's time for me to leave. I had an enjoyable experience, but it was a painful track. Right now, a little bit about me. If you're listening and you like the videos, I am an orphan. It's the easiest way to put it. I do a lot of traveling, just to find my own way in life. And I've been doing it all alone since I was 17. Okay, so it's at 6, so I got a little bit more time than I thought. I found myself in Washington mainly because I was attracted to that, in the name, the evergreen state. I really wanted to be in nature. I'm really about the temperaments of the seasons. I moved from California just due to the housing crisis, just too much politics, too much economical distress, hatred, and any other ethnic, societal phrasing you want to use. I've seen it, I heard it, I know all about it, and I was tired of it. I wasn't really able to get out as much, like enjoy the beaches or, make friends, make family. I was taught to make war. No, just kidding. No. I've just spent most of my young adult life trying to figure out how to make things work. And I've just been coming to the understanding that these systems aren't meant for you to actually succeed unless you are meant to succeed, and you know that. Nothing really keeps you down at that point. Yeah, so for let's say about the last 6-7 years, I've been really struggling with my physical health. I wouldn't say so much emotional health, because body, mind, and soul, it's all together. If your body doesn't work, your mind tries to find reasons or ways to cure some of your issues. Yeah, and I got a follower. All right. So I've been really good at maintaining my peace of mind, peace of spirit, peace of heart. But yeah, coming out here, a lot of self-realizations, doing the college education, and a lot of, I would say, extracurricular study, which has not been thoroughly documented or processed by a, what do you want to call it, an official campus. I'll let this pass. But yeah, because of that, because of my physical health being kind of an issue, it's been pretty tough. I've been realizing a lot of it really isn't emotional. A lot of it is really societal. So the time when I was around 5 or 6, I essentially really hurt my leg, and from there, I'm just kind of piecing together. I was immediately disowned because I hurt myself. That the family that I was in didn't want me, even before I realized that. At the time and before I hurt myself, they didn't care. They didn't want me. I was just their piggy bank. But because I hurt myself pretty bad, that's when really all of the abuse and neglect really took place. Yes, I was able to live in a nice location around nice and charitable Christian people. But yeah, moving past that, in adult life, I've just pushed myself way too hard. I might be going the wrong way. And I've just been trying to make it work, and now I'm realizing I don't really even have to make it work to get where I want to be or be successful. But my physical health has definitely taken a dive. I'm suffering from something that's called POTS, postal tachycardia. I'm not going to waste my breath on the big words, but basically I have a misalignment in my nervous system, in my spine, and in my brain. I've had a few brain injuries as well that kind of impact a lot of what I can do from a day-to-day basis. And in my mindset, if I'm physically taken care of, mentally taken care of, I'm at peace with myself. Nothing really prevents me from doing what I want to do, kind of like Superman. But after all, I'm only human. To quote the great Fry from Futurama. Okay, I'm in the right direction. Nice. So yeah, just a little rundown. I've been out here on my own, having a lot of fun. It's been a painful fucking journey, I will say that. Is it worth it? I mean, I don't really know yet, but I feel good right now. The last few days have been a struggle. I've gotten maybe like four hours, because I'm just, the last week, or no, this whole month, it's just been, I'm gonna go fishing. Nothing's gonna stop me. Nothing has stopped me except for the fact that there aren't any fishing spots that are openly accessible. But due to my like flare-ups, I've been having to keep out. I've increased physical activity just because I'm not safe at where I live anymore. Haven't been able to build the best relationships with some of the people there. I even had a stalker follow me all the way out from California, and I had to live with them. And I struggle with the fact that I'm not a danger to myself or others, but if I have to live with the stalker, they're stealing and collecting my information, sharing it with other people. That's an issue. But I do have some good news. I do have good news. Due to some of my disability accommodations not being met for the last year, I've been finally able to meet someone who sees me. And it's been tough because I've been limited to just email or a phone call. My phone doesn't work. Straight back to email. And at this point in time, we're in the liability territory where there's just so much like government waste. There's a lot of I'm just gonna keep it simple. The batteries aren't. I want to end it on a positive note, but just a lot of criminality, which I'm not party to, and because I choose not to be party to it, it makes my life increasingly difficult. I'm just trying to be a good boy. So yeah, there's something in the trees out there. I did see some scat that looked pretty familiar to some bear droppings. I could be wrong. It did look like a bear though. Pretty cool. And take a look at this. Little distraction for myself. Beautiful ferns out here. Yeah, that's the bus. I just about missed it. At least I get to rest for 10 or 15 minutes. Dude, like I could just run up there if I was physically able to. But I'm not. Like if you can hear that, just going full sprint. 40 seconds I could have made that bus. But yeah, to close it off on a nice note, I was able to speak to someone who could understand my situation. Due to the fact that a lot of people here, they knew what they were doing, what they were talking about. I don't have to worry about, gangs and political opponents or shitty people coming after my throne. When I say that, I realistically mean certain entitlements or titles that I had that have been taken away from me that I'll share in a later video. But yeah, it's really scandalous out here. I don't thoroughly enjoy it. Okay, so we are now out of the, there we go, out of the park, crossing the street. I'm so glad I brought this flashlight. I do not want to get hit. This is a really cool tree I saw earlier today. I'm trying to identify some of these berries. I don't know if you can see it. But yeah, just look at that. How they like wrap around and grow into each other. It's really majestic. We're at 3%. Damn, I'm lucky. So normally after like 10, 20, it just decides to drain really fast. I'm gonna put my stuff down, get back to you in a second. But yeah, if I was gonna rate this experience internally, I'm having the time of my life. I'm in so much pain though. I'd give it like a 7.4. I've been to a couple different parks kind of like this. This is a really nice one, but you're going to want to be set for the day. If you have any physical ailments, take a friend. Don't go out here alone. But yeah, I'm feeling myself today. Was able to get a haircut in like first time in a year. By the way, like a little bit more personal background. Like I'm not a criminal. I haven't been to prison. I have a really clean slate, if I'm going to be honest. But besides the point, due to my like physical ailment, just me droning on about it, I came out here because I was told the medical field was the best in the country. If that is true, all I've known is that they schedule appointments in a way where you unintentionally miss them. And if you're reliant on public transportation and you've never gone there, you're gonna run into issues. Because I use a government phone, I can't even connect. So it says I get mobile data and then unlimited, but I haven't been able to connect to my mobile data since I got this phone. The only thing I can do is receive calls. So 2%. So that's been rough in itself. Like I can't look up locations. I can't call people when I need them. I can't really have a human experience inside or outside the cellular device because the system's whack. Again, like I was able to use Hope Lake Transportation is like the local. It's kind of like they try to get taxi drivers to convert to the medical realm of the transportation industry. But because of how they're setting things up, and even if it wasn't this way, please don't twist my words. A lot of the only drivers I've ever had were either fully African or fully Indian. So, they definitely came here on a visa because they didn't speak English, or they've just stayed in the area so long they didn't really need to adhere, adapt, or kind of integrate with American culture, which is something I'm not going to get into. But because I've never had an English speaking driver, you can expect to miss your cab. And I was also kidnapped from one of my vehicles. I was able to get out before I realized what was actually happening. Um, More about that later. If you're interested, DM me. Give you the full video. It's at 1%. Let's try to end this with a good note. What I've learned from living in Washington is it's really altered my character in a way that anything I was able to achieve, I set my mind to, I'm able and fully capable of doing it without having physical, dysfunctions. It's still pretty rough, but it's not something that's going to ever prevent me from having a normal human experience, which sucks for some people because it's not even my intention to be a bad person. But, it is what it is. Um, yeah, relationship building, I guess you could say. It's going to be tough. But in terms of when I try to go out and reach people, it's all been pretty monitored or close knit by people who have had investments in my future without my knowledge. But yeah, I guess a good takeaway is just keep up the good work. Don't let anybody put you down just because they're in a bad mood. Because if they don't feel that way in a week, was what I've really noticed. Sometimes it's just a bad day. Then, if it's a bad day, it's a bad day. But if they still have the same attitude the next week, that person is not meant for you. But yeah, I'm gonna wait for the bus. Gonna try logging off before my phone dies. Salutations, aloha, respect to all. Have a blessed night. Bye bye.